Good morning, Americans. How's it going, friends? It's Tuesday morning. It's kind of sprinkly outside in sunny California. So we have April showers. Anyways, heading out east towards Palm Springs and then north from there. About a 2-hour drive, and we're going to go do some exploring. I have one goal in mind, but that could branch off into other things depending. All right, probably do a little metal detecting as well. And that's about it. See you in 2 hours. That right there is called the Integratron, and I will get into that in a different video coming out next week with a friend, and we'll talk about that later, maybe later in this video also. So we have to do 3 more miles on this dirt road and we will have reached Giant Rock. Those are some big rocks right there, but they get bigger. So here we are. This is called Giant Rock. My facts aren't always straight, but this supposedly at one time was the second largest natural rock boulder on Earth. And sometime in the recent past here, this one part of the rock broke off the main part, and it put it in spot number 3 for the biggest rock on the planet. So the local native Indians considered this to be the heart of the earth. And they have a story behind this breaking. Basically, there's 2 different stories that I've heard. One, that when it broke, the rock, the heart, opened itself up to a new age, to us, to a new world. And the other story goes that since it broke off, they say the heart's broken, and it's only a matter of time before the end comes. I don't know about the end to planet Earth or the end to humanity, but that's the story behind them, the local native Indians. Now, there's also another story behind this area here, and we'll get into that. Of course, you got your idiot desert vandals, stupid vandals everywhere, taggers. You know, there's only one rock like this in nature, and it's right here, this thing. And these idiots go and spray it. Bunch of idiots. Okay, so I'm trying to get out of the wind here. Well, back in, I believe, the 40s, a German miner dug a hole under this big rock. Well, more like he dug a cave out and kind of set it up for his home. And he was living under it, and had antennas on top for his radio communications. Shortly thereafter, World War II started, and there's a military base not far from here, 29 Palms Desert Warfare Marine Base, and they started thinking that he may be a spy, so they came here to talk to him and with police, and he refused to come to the door. So long story short, they ended up blowing him up with dynamite and destroying his whole little house. After that, another guy took over this place, and I don't know his name, you could look it up on Google, but he built a small little diner here that sat on that platform there, and his wife made delicious pies. He also put in a runway, dirt runway right here, where pilots would come in and land and kind of get some pie. One of those pilots was Howard Hughes, was friends with him, so Howard Hughes would fly here just to grab a piece of pie and then take off. There's also rumors that a lot of weird alien activity takes place out here, or unidentified flying objects. That's probably coming from the Marine base, I'm assuming. So the guy who had this little pie shop here would have alien gatherings, I guess. People would come out and camp, and they would look up to the sky to find aliens. So it's got a pretty cool past. I hope you guys can hear me with the wind. So anyways, we're gonna see if we can get further into this and see what we can see. Rock climbers like to come out here also and climb this thing. A lot of rocks out here to climb. So around the rock you'll see places where they've put in their anchors and whatnot. This is the part that broke off here, off of this big white face. So certain parts underneath here, it looks like you almost get in there. On the other side, I think there's a spot where I can get in. And if so, we're gonna get in there and check it out. So here we go. Looks like there's an opening right here. Someone may have dug it out. Let's just hope there's no snakes in here. Throw some rocks. Okay, I'm down on my knees and hands, and it looks like we got some rebar there. There's some old bricks here and whatnot. Like I said, this was all dug out in here. It was huge. And there's part of the old house, his interior there. Yeah, this place was one big room under here, one studio apartment. And this is as far as we're getting in. It'd be really cool to excavate this and take out all this debris and see what's down there. Some old tin cans. I don't know if that was from him or from other people, but I have no idea. I'm just looking around for snakes. I'm being real cautious. But I don't think there are any. I'm gonna turn this light off. There's plenty outside light. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Yeah, this is totally a wall built by him for the inside. Huh. Anyways, that's as far as we can get in here. And now we'll go back out. Poured concrete slab. So I'm guessing this is where is right in here. You would think if this guy, this German guy that lived under this rock, was a miner, you'd think he'd have some digging somewhere, you know? A pit, a mine, something. And you'd think it'd have to be pretty close, because I don't know if he'd wanted to travel very far to get to his mine or his diggings. So maybe he was doing some placer mining down in here, creek area. Don't know, hard to say. Hard to say, but it's curious. And if he is a miner or was a miner, I'd really like to find his diggings. And they got to be around here somewhere, right? Has anybody looked for them? Don't know. Most people don't care. So I brought my metal detector out today. I was going to hit up around where the old shop was, maybe the old runway, because back in the 40s and 50s, a lot of people, I'm talking thousands of people, came out here and camped. So, you know, where people go, they drop money. And back then, I can guarantee you all the coins were silver. Up until 64, the quarters were silver, and so were the dimes. So, but I'm looking down here, and there's just so much debris from modern day man. Bottle caps and bullets and bullshit everywhere. That metal detecting probably be a nightmare. So these are the old foundations for the little pie shop they had. It's all that remains. But if you look it up online, Google Big Rock in Landers, California, you should be able to find all the cool old pictures on this place and a better history than what I just told you. But that's pretty much the gist of it. So this was the dirt runway. The second guy who owned this made, and this is where all the people would fly into. They'd land here and go have some pie. So at the end of this runway here, there's this post. Looks like an old metal post. I'm wondering if maybe they had a sign on here or some sort of runway marker. I saw all this piles of wire down here, and I was like, what the hell is all this wire doing around here? So I think I figured it out. I think what they had here is a bunch of tires, old car tires, over this pole, stacked and, you know, stacked up, and someone burned them or something, and this is the wires that are left from the steel radial belted tires. Well, that's what I could figure out. I don't know, tell me if you think that's what it was. But we're going to continue to explore the area because it's interesting. Giant rock down there. So if the German miner was up here looking for gold or mining gold, you could have gone anywhere up here in the hills. There's just so much to look at and see. There could still be a mine up there and nobody would ever know it. Kind of like I'm coming up these canyons off of Big Rock, just cruising the canyons, and saw this rock outcropping here with this quartz outcropping. It's stained and highly mineralized. There's some greens in there, a lot of reds, but who knows? You know, gold travels in this. And looks like there's a shear zone here. He could have found a place like this, and I mean, look at that. That's quartz, and there's iron in there, and who else knows what's in there. He could have found something like this and been mining it, and nobody even knows. That thing's probably still up here, waiting for someone to stumble upon it. But most people, they don't know. They don't care. They think there's no more gold to be found, but there is. Just gotta find it. Okay, on we go. Okay, I'm gonna sit in my truck and talk to you right now because it's windy outside. But right there's Big Rock. I just drove all the canyons up in these hills, pretty much, looking around for outcroppings and pits and mines and whatnot. It makes sense if you're a miner, as I am. I'm a not a full-time miner, but I like to mine every now and then, mostly in the river, and you know, sedimentary type stuff, not hard rock. But anyways, you want your camp or your house within view of your mine claim or your mine pit or whatever. So this totally makes sense. He's there, and right now I'm sitting on top of a big decomposing quartz mound here. It's just a gigantic quartz vein, and it's all breaking apart, but it seems like it's this whole thing here. There's a pit right down here, small pit, but I'm guessing this is where the old German miner was mining. So we're gonna get out and take a look. I'm not gonna do much talking because it's windy. Positive this is where he was digging. Gigantic quartz vein, all exposed. I don't know if you can hear me because of the wind, but I can almost guarantee you this is where the old German miner was had his claim and was looking for gold. There used to be a post here, looks like, cemented in to the rock and some cement on top. Old style handmade cement here. Some cement here and there. It had to be from him. He's probably marking his claim or getting ready to build an enclosure until he got killed by the sheriffs. In any case, if he did find gold and he hadn't taken it to the bank yet, he probably hid it out here somewhere, as miners do. So there's a gajillion places out here to hide stuff. Lost forever, if it is. have it. That about does it for me. I'm gonna drive around the desert a little more, but as for the rock, I'm done. And look it up. It's very interesting. A lot of history behind it. Real quick before I go, I think I forgot to mention the second guy that had this, that owned this, he believed in aliens and stuff. I think I told you that, alien conventions. But he also said that the aliens spoke to him and gave him a bunch of information, technology and stuff. But he built something out here with that technology. And that's what we're gonna go see probably next week. So stay tuned, guys. If you liked it, even if you didn't like it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and help me out. All right, take care. God bless you.